Good evening and welcome to Left, Right and Centre this Monday night. I'm Nidhi Razdan. On the programme this evening, after the cartoon row, Mamata Banerjee is under fire again. The West Bengal Chief Minister is now getting slack from eminent scientists who've written to the Prime Minister against the arrest of a scientist in Bengal who was protesting against the eviction of slum dwellers. Is there no room for dissent in Mamata's Bengal? Also, Delhi beats Mumbai and actually comes out to vote in the civic elections, but the posh colonies of the city stay away. Are India's elite only interested in cribbing about the state of our cities? Those are our big debates tonight, but first, the headlines. Several chief ministers unite in their opposition to the centre on the issue of states' rights at the internal security meeting in Delhi. Narendra Modi, Naveen Patnaik and Jayalalitha meet. Earlier, Jayalalitha accused the centre of showing scant respect for state governments. Modi talked about a lack of trust. The PM tries to reach out.
केंद्र और राज्य के बीच एक अविश्वास का माहौल बना है। इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी के लिए अविश्वास का ये माहौल बहुत बड़ा संकट पैदा कर सकता है।
Internal security is a matter in which the states and the centre must work together, hand in hand.
Mamata Banerjee under fire again. Eminent scientists from India and abroad write to the PM condemning the arrest of a Bengal scientist for protesting against the eviction of slum dwellers. They also condemn the arrest of the professor who circulated a cartoon of the chief minister. They say there's a clear message not to raise voices of dissent in Bengal. The CBI is all set to record the army chief's statement on his 14 crore rupee bribery allegation in a defence deal. Sources in the CBI say this will be a preliminary inquiry and an FIR will be filed only if there's solid evidence. The CBI is set to ask the army chief why he did not bring up this issue when it first happened more than a year ago. It's the army versus the Himachal government over 24 acres of land, the Annandale ground, which belongs to the army. The state wants to build a cricket stadium. The army says national security can't be ignored for games and gimmicks. The chief minister threatens to sue the army now for defamation.
क्योंकि हिमाचल के लिए और खासकर कभी ऐसी वहां पे सक्रियता अगर बढ़ती है तो उसमें हेलीकॉप्टर्स के लैंड कराने के लिए और कोई जगह नहीं है। ये सरकार को हमने बता रखा है।
मैंने जिस दिन मुझे मेमोरेंडम दिया तब भी मैंने कहा था कि मैं रक्षा मंत्रालय से और प्रधानमंत्री से मामला उठाऊंगा, लेकिन न जाने किसने कैसे उन्होंने ऐसी स्टेटमेंट दे दी है। अब उसका परिणाम वो भुगतेंगे।
Afghanistan and the United States blame the ISI-linked Haqqani network for the attacks in Kabul and other Afghan cities on Sunday. President Karzai blames NATO for an intelligence failure. The gun battle ended this morning after 18 hours, leaving 36 militants and 8 security personnel dead. And the man who killed 77 people in last year's horrific massacre in Norway has pleaded not guilty to criminal charges and says he acted in self-defense. As the trial of Anders Breivik begins, he rejects the authority of the court itself. Well, let's get straight to our top story tonight. What is going on with Mamata Banerjee? Days after the latest controversy over the arrest of a professor who circulated a cartoon on her, now eminent scientists and activists have written to the Prime Minister, upset about the arrest of a scientist in Kolkata who was protesting against the eviction of slum dwellers. More and more voices are now speaking out against the Chief Minister's intolerance and her style of functioning.
The police lathi-charge of 4th April in Kolkata's Ruby Moor area on activists and slum dwellers protesting eviction from the Nonadanga Basti nearby. On that day, Professor Parthasarathi Roy, a molecular biologist, was not present at the protest. He was in his office at the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research at Mohanpur in Nadia district, more than 60 kilometers from Kolkata. Yet on 8th April, when he was participating in a peaceful protest against the Nonadanga eviction, he was arrested for assaulting a police on 4th April. He and 6 others arrested that day are now in judicial custody, and the scientific community is outraged. So outraged that they have written a letter to the Prime Minister demanding his immediate release. We are extremely perturbed by the use of state force in cracking down on human rights activists and citizens attempting to raise issues of concern related to some of the poorest and most vulnerable people of our country, the letter says. this violent suppression of protest appears to be an attempt to threaten those who would raise their voice in dissent. This incident has implications not only for Kolkata but also for our larger democracy.
As a fellow scientist, I want him to be freed as soon as possible, because he is a very good scientist and I want him to continue his work. So I'm very much shocked that he has been charged with non-bailable offences.
In the FIR, there is no whisper that these persons were there. Rather, the record shows the police are telling lie for the reasons best known to them. It is on record that he was not at all within the periphery of Ruby or collecting area on 4th April 2012.
The letter also refers to the arrest of Professor Ambikesh Mahapatra of Jadavpur University, who spent a night in police custody before being released on bail last week. His crime? Circulating this cartoon that poked fun at Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Mahapatra was also assaulted by Trinamool workers who have since been arrested and let off on bail.
Many furious people beaten me.
Physically, they actually beat you?
Beat you. At that time, I was very afraid and I practically cried.
Mamata Banerjee, in a reference to Mahapatra's arrest, did justify the police action.
ব্রেনটাকে যদি আমরা ভালো কাজে লাগাই অনেক কাজ হতে পারে। সকাল থেকে দেখুন আমরা একটার পর একটা কাজ করে যাচ্ছি কি করে বাংলার ভালো হয়। আর 35 বছর যারা কিছু করেনি সকালবেলায় বসে দুটো টিভি চ্যানেল তৈরি করেছে পয়সা দিয়ে। কাজ নেই, কর্ম নেই, ভোরবেলা থেকে উঠে অন্যায় করবে আর অ্যারেস্ট হলেই আবার ওইটা নিয়ে চলে যাচ্ছে সারাদিন। কাজ করো না।
That was on Friday. Since then, silence on the controversial arrests. Mamata today skipped the internal security meeting in Delhi, and many are wondering if the controversy over the cartoon arrest had anything to do with it. In Kolkata, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
And many people are now wondering whether Mamata Banerjee is really any different from the Marxists when they ruled West Bengal, and so we're asking whether nothing has changed in Bengal. Do tell us what you think. And in fact, it's quite a telling point that this is the third time we're actually discussing Mamata Banerjee's style of functioning in less than 1 month, because there have been so many controversies surrounding her. Joining us tonight on the program, we have Ananya Chakravarti, filmmaker and activist who is a very strong supporter of Mamata Banerjee and of the Trinamool Congress. We have Mohammed Salim of the CPM, who also joins us tonight from Kolkata. Bachi Kakaria, the consulting editor of the Times of India, joins us from Mumbai. We have columnist and commentator Suhail Seth here with us in Delhi. I just want to also say at the outset that the Trinamool Congress has officially refused to come on this program today and to make any comment, except to say that they have the freedom of speech to not speak on Mamata's style of functioning. Let me first ask Ms. Chakravarti then. You know, Ms. Chakravarti, as I sat down to anchor this program today, we got news that the Trinamool Congress's food supplies minister has actually made a statement today to TMC workers saying that its members cannot marry anybody from the CPM or anyone related to the CPM. I mean, honestly, it initially made me burst out laughing, but it's actually a very telling comment on the state of the Trinamool Congress today. What is going on with the TMC and with Mamata Banerjee?
Well, I didn't hear of any such statement, and I'll definitely not support any such statement. Marriage is a very personal matter, very private matter. So there's no question of interfering into people's personal lives.
But then, tell us about this latest controversy over the arrests. Is there no room for anybody to have a different point of view in West Bengal anymore? A professor is arrested for circulating a cartoon and charged with outraging the modesty of a woman, no less. You have now eminent scientists who've written to the Prime Minister on the arrest of a leading microbiologist in the state. What is going on? There's a sense that the Chief Minister is completely intolerant of criticism.
Yes, let me first start with the cartoon, if you want. There is a, you know, it's going on all over Facebook and Twitter and emails, and people are talking about it, that Mamata Banerjee is anti-cartoon and anti-humor. Just to put things in perspective, Mamata Banerjee is actually very pro-cartoon. She loves cartoons. She has definitely a sense of humor, otherwise she couldn't have fought for 35 years. You know, she couldn't have fought for so long to throw out a 35-year-old government. She has both the guts and the sense of humor. Secondly, just to demonstrate how much she likes cartoons and she loves cartoons and promotes cartoons, she had released several books on cartoons in the Calcutta Book Fair in 2009 and 2012. And in those books, there were several cartoons which actually lampooned her, which made fun of her. So this is a half-lie that is going around, and she had no hand whatsoever in the arrest of the professor or of the engineer. And I have one thing to say here. Why are we constantly talking about the professor? There was a 72-year-old retired PWD engineer. I'm more concerned about him because he is a much senior man. But no one is talking about it.
But hasn't she changed?
If somebody
has
has
she
committed
changed?
a crime,
Has
it
she
is not a
changed
crime
from the time when
to
she? Has she changed from the time when she was an agitational politician to when she's become chief minister? What do you say to those who say power has gone to her head?
Certainly she has changed. Certainly she has changed. And she is changing every day, as she herself has said in several interviews, that I'm learning from my mistakes. She's growing, she's learning from her mistakes, and that is the most important thing. The day a politician says, I know everything, that is the end of it. But the moment she admits that, yes, I've made mistakes and I'm learning from it, that is a growing process, and that's very important.
Before I come to the rest of the panel, I want to ask you how many mistakes. I mean, isn't it unfortunate that after the amazing victory that she did have in the assembly elections, which was...
Tell me about the mistakes. Tell me about the mistakes.
You just have... This is the third time you're on this program in the last 1 month. I mean, I'm just asking you, from the arrest of the scientists to the cartoon controversy to Marx and Engels to the newspapers in the libraries, painting Calcutta blue, a certain kind of music at the traffic lights, the Park Street rape, the infant deaths, the Amri fire. Do I need to go on?
What is the Marx and Engels issue? Please tell me about that.
So, are you saying that this is all blown out of proportion?
The media is constantly saying that Marx and Engels has been deleted from syllabus, which is a lie. Please check out your facts before you say these things. These are half lies that are going on in the market. It's really terrible that all the good work that she's doing for the state, none of it is being highlighted. The only thing that are being tom-tommed about are these half lies.
Okay,
she had no hand in the arrest of the professor. She has not deleted Marx and Engels from the syllabus, and most of the things that are being said about her are all half lies.
Okay, all right. Then first let me get Suhail and then Bachi to come in on this. Suhail, these are half lies. It's the media's fault, and she's pro-cartoon. These are the three things that have come out of this.
Obviously, she must be, as long as she's not in the cartoon. I mean, from all logic. And I don't know which angels she was referring to, but I thought it was Marx and Engels. But anyway, you know, they're always right. I think three things have happened, and you eloquently captured one of them. Mamata Banerjee did live under what she believed was a suppressive regime. She believes that. I think she remains the leader of an...
We all believe that. The entire West Bengal believes that.
I didn't interrupt you, so it would be decent of you not to interrupt me. So let me get back to what I was saying. What happened was, she hasn't grown out, to my mind, of being a leader of the opposition. That's number one. Number two, I don't think Mamata Banerjee personally could have even thought of taking the kind of action she's taken. I believe that this is a typical case of people who are more loyal than the king to the king. I think she's been ill-advised. I think it's become a roller coaster. And like any person who's come to power through a lot of strife, through a huge struggle, is now reacting to anything and is almost Bush-like, saying either you're with me or against me. The middle path has almost been obliterated. Finally, Bengal was always known for tolerance. It was known for tolerance, it was known for literature, it was known for diversity. Most importantly, the entire para culture, the adda, is about discourse and debate. I think Mamata would do a huge disservice to that cultural idiom of Bengal, which, by the way, she knows well. I mean, she's a professional doodler. She has had exhibitions of her art. So surely she understands that a liberal outlook must be encouraged. It mustn't be suppressed. So I think this repressive regime or this repressive action or many actions of hers need, to my mind, some major counseling. Someone's actually got to tell her that this is not what people expect of her. She shouldn't be in the news for this. I mean, she should be in the news for development. She should be in the news for all the stuff that she's doing. She should be in the news for extracting so much of money from the Planning Commission. But look what's happened. I mean, having said that, what happened with Amri was absolutely a disaster at the hands of the folks who run Amri. They deserved every bit of punishment. I have no sympathy for them. Many of them were close to the erstwhile communist regime. It is a known fact. So there are instances, sadly, as you say, all of them have been tarred by the same brush. So at times we have been unfair to Mamata, and at times more often than not, I think Mamata is being unfair.